Today on Sporting Top 10, we'll be counting down the top 5 games of Week 10 and with my weekly NFL pick'ems. At number 5, we have Michigan State at Ohio State. Now, Michigan State is a quality Big Ten team, coming off their best win of their season by far, knocking Penn State out of the college football playoff race. Now, with Ohio State, JT Barrett is a Heisman hopeful still, but he just derailed their season last week at Iowa, as Iowa is a solid team too in the Big Ten. JT had 4 interceptions. That's just unacceptable for a Heisman candidate. But since this game is at Ohio State, I have them winning at the Horseshoe. At my number 4 matchup of the week, I have the New Orleans Saints at the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Saints have been on a tear lately. They have climbed to the top seed in the NFC South, right ahead of the Panthers, but they have rattled off 6 straight wins. Now, the Bills, they're a quality team this year too, but they kind of pulled themselves back into the pack with last Thursday night losing to the Jets. Since this is at Buffalo, but they have Drew Brees on their team, I will have Drew Brees and the Saints pulling this one out and extending their win streak to 7, as I think this will be a tight game. I think, actually, the Saints win on the last second score. At my number 3 matchup of the week, I have the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Auburn Tigers. Now, Georgia has come onto the scene this year, as they have had solid football programs in the past, but this year feels special, as Georgia has climbed to the number 1 seed in the FBS. But Auburn is looking to bump them off, as they are a scrappy team. They are a quality SEC school like everyone. But I truly believe that Auburn will make the college football playoff if they could knock off Georgia and Alabama and then win the SEC championship game. The playoff committee loves great wins, and they will not get it though, as Georgia, with Jake Fromm and Nick Chubb, the running back, will take this even though it is at Auburn. Go Dogs! At our number 2 matchup of the week, we have the TCU Horned Frogs at the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, this is a college playoff bout because as you see, Oklahoma is the 5 seed and TCU is the 6 seed. I think the winner of this, if they run the table the rest of the way, will get in the playoff. But they both have losses to Iowa State. Iowa State is coming on as a quality SEC, as a quality Big 12 team this year. My bet on that. And then we have Oklahoma. We have Baker Mayfield coming off an almost 600-yard performance versus Oklahoma State. I don't really know much about TCU, but they have a quality defense. But I think Oklahoma pulls this one out, mainly because Baker Mayfield is a great college quarterback, and I have him as my Heisman. I don't know how he's going to be in the pros, though. At our number 1 matchup of the week, we have the Comdex versus the Catholics, as we have Miami versus Notre Dame. Now, these are 2 storied programs in college football, but many people didn't expect them to be that good this year. But people think that Miami is overrated, but I don't. And people love Notre Dame, as their only loss came to the number 1 seed, Georgia. And this is for a spot for the playoff, definitely. And the difference maker I have for this game is Braxton Berrios from Miami. He is a slot receiver. He is much like a Julian Edelman type and a Cole Beasley. I think he will have a future in the pros if he is placed on the right team. The potential difference maker I have for Notre Dame is Heisman Trophy candidate Brandon Wimbush. Highlights. Absolutely great punt return following his blockers. Then Braxton Berrios gets rewarded with the target on the seam. Nice back shoulder touchdown catch. Next, we have highlights of another Heisman candidate, Brandon Wimbush. As you can see, very mobile quarterback. could be a future pro, might be switching to wide receiver. Speaking of wide receivers, that was a great dime to his wide receiver. I have the Seahawks beating the Cardinals. I have the Packers beating the Bears. And I have the Lions beating the Browns in my lock of the week since it is at Ford Field. I have the Steelers beating the Colts, another sure win. I have the Chargers beating the Jaguars because the Jaguars are kind of Jekyll and Hyde. You know what they're going to give. I have the Saints beating the Bills. I have the Buccaneers beating the Jets. I have the Vikings beating the Redskins. I have the Bengals beating the Titans in my upset of the week. I have the Rams beating the Texans because of that stellar defense. I have the Cowboys beating the Falcons. I have the Giants beating the 49ers, although they're both struggling this year. I have the Patriots beating the Broncos, and I have the Panthers beating the Dolphins on Monday night. My overall record this year so far is 83-49, a solid record. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Sporting Top 10.